Hey, happy Friday, Houston. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Kim Castro. Welcome to your 10-minute weather update. We are under a weather impact alert, at least for the next 30 minutes. It's been a wet start to the day. We're still tracking some storms and some wind to try to avoid travel at least until 1 o'clock this afternoon. Just stay put. I'll tell you a funny story. I got caught in the rain. I knew it was going to rain. I brought my umbrella, but I had to shoot, and so I honorably gave my umbrella to our camera so that it would be protected. So I know how messy it has been out there. Here's a live look at radar right now. Storms racing out of here. There were some strong storms pushing from Wharton, Matagorda, Brazoria, and eventually Galveston. They have weakened there, which is great. You'll notice though the storms a little bit to our north have strengthened. So there's some heavy rain right now pushing from Mont Belvieu closer towards Winnie. If I take you back towards the loop, great clearing. So now we are ending the stormy start to the day here in Houston, but still keeping an eye on the Gulf Freeway, Texas City, moderate to heavy downpours all the way to Galveston. And then here's a wide look. The number of lightning strikes continues to go down, which is fantastic. The storms are weakening. So over the last 10 minutes, we're still tracking about 110 lightning strikes. So if you are in this cluster, particularly East Freeway, East Tex Freeway, where we're seeing some of the storms still holding on to a bit of strength, stay inside, avoid the loud claps of thunder, the bolts of lightning out there. And then a few of them scattered behind as well. So League City showing some lightning right now, reaching all the way down to Galveston. But for the most part, loop in the Beltway looks like it's just some pockets of moderate, even a couple of heavier rain bands along Beltway 8, at least the northeast side of it. But no lightning showing up, which is great. Okay, how about the rest of today? I think the majority of that 40% chance for storms is about wrapping up. I think your afternoon and evening is going to feature quite a bit of cloud cover, but I think the rain is going to be minimal. 90 degrees is going to be your high temperature today. We get to take a break from the shower chances tomorrow, so a good day to go to the park, a good day to lay out by the pool, go to Galveston, whatever outdoor activity suits your soul, go on and do it. On Sunday, though, that's when we're going to have to be a little bit more mindful of the forecast. I'm tracking about a 30% chance to see a couple of heavy downpours coming in, and temperatures are pretty warm. Galveston right now looks a lot better. It was, whipping wind there for a little bit and definitely giving downpours, which is why you'll notice those roads are completely saturated. Traffic's moving slowly, things are calming down, but it'll be a nice little recovery throughout the remainder of the day. At Bush Airport, sitting at 80 degrees right now, it is a 9-degree temperature drop thanks to the rain-cooled air. So that is one huge positive from seeing the shower activity, is that it quiets down and calms down the temperature forecast. There is our camera shot. So this is off of our roof camera on Westheimer Chimney Rock, looking out towards the Galleria, and then a faint look at downtown. So you'll notice showers have stopped, still plenty of cloud cover though. You'll stay cloudy for a good chunk of the day. I think we're only going to see peaks of sunshine throughout the afternoon, but I do think that the high temperature manages to get close to, if not hit, 90 degrees right around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then the remainder of the day will be pretty firmly set in the mid-80s. With humidity, though, feels a little hotter than that. All right, let's look at our neighborhood weather network to see some of the heavier rain that we got today. So you'll notice Beaumont Place is area on bright yellow. I think that's a couple of inches. We don't have a particular gauge right there, but we do have one just south of there for Twisted Ash Court. And you'll notice that received over an inch of rain, and it's in the green. So if I see yellow, that's at least closer to 2 inches. Let's take you over to the Heights. So Rutland Street, 4/10 of an inch of rain. East 7th, about 6/10, and then taking you down to Rice Military, the Villages, about 3/10 of an inch of rain. Fagan Street picked up closer to ½ an inch. All right, Galveston County headed down the Gulf Freeway. Santa Fe picked up, look, close to 2 inches there for Cherry Street, Avenue D, about 1.5 inches. And then the actual seawall, anywhere between 6/10 to 7/10, so close to 1 inch of rainfall. The storms were really strong there. You'll notice this is a 30-minute loop, so there was some bright red passing through, but it's moved on pretty quick. So not a lot of accumulation, which is a good thing. We don't want to see too much rain, especially after this week. We've seen a couple of inches of rain, anywhere between 2 to 4 inches across the area. So it's good that we're not seeing these storms kind of stay stuck here, but a little bit of back building going on behind this particular batch that's moving along the East Freeway from Mont Belvieu to Winnie. You'll notice just south of the airport, a cluster of storms has fired up. This is extending all the way south of Huffman. So Magnolia Gardens with some moderate rain, Cloverleaf with some moderate rain, but slowly but surely this is migrating at a healthy jog towards the east, and that means away from us. Here's another closer look at Beltway 8. You'll notice there is still some activity trying to reach Channel View and then moving closer towards Mont Belvieu along 146. That's where the heaviest rain is right now. But this is just going to linger, I'd say, for at least 30 minutes. And that's when I think I'm going to allow that weather impact alert to expire, because really good for the loop in the Beltway. Things are looking better. Okay, look at the 24-hour temperature change with the rain-cooled air. We're at least a few degrees cooler than where we were yesterday. Some of us a lot of degrees cooler. El Campo down by 14 degrees, Angleton down by 13, Galveston down by 13, again Bush 10 degrees cooler. So we're tracking just 70s and 80s for now, which is so nice. 81 degrees right now, the current temperature in Tomball. Galveston only at 73 degrees, tracking the 70s for College Station to Cleveland, sitting at 74. Your high temperatures, though, I do think they push at least into the upper 80s today, which is seasonable for this time of year. This is right where we should be. Some of us, though, I think are going to get closer to 90. 85 for Hunters Creek, 86 for Brookhaven. Find your neighborhood on the map. Do you live in Jacinto City? Make it up to 87. Dyersdale, same thing there. If you live in, let's say, Addicks, 85. Jersey Village, 85. Cypress, 84. But I wouldn't be surprised if some of us do climb up closer towards 90. I think Bush gets to 90, and that is our official recording station, so we take all of our data from Bush Intercontinental Airport. Do you have really fun plans tonight? Take me with you. The Stros take on the Rays tonight at 7:10. When the game gets started, we will be in the mid-80s. But if you're heading there straight from work, maybe going to a happy hour, just trying to get there early, find parking, you'll notice this is going to be pretty warm for you. 88 degrees, mostly cloudy, but still holding on to a lot of humidity. So it'll be a mild evening. Mild temperature-wise and forecast-wise, too. Because look, after we see this batch of storms roll out of here, Future Track shows we've got a good clearing for the rest of the afternoon and into the evening. That forecast sticks with us through your Saturday. So that's all the way to 8 o'clock Saturday night. Nice and clear. Sunday might be a little bit more problematic. All right, a couple of showers and storms for our northern cities and counties during the early afternoon, and then late afternoon into the evening plans, storms along the I-10 corridor, and some of these could bring a couple of heavy downpours. So just be mindful that Sunday might not be as pretty as your Saturday. Okay, Saturday, you'll notice a very insignificant rain chance, which is why I put it at 0. For your Sunday, that's when I think we could see some heavier rain, so that's your 30% chance. And then moving on to the coming work week, some light showers are possible. I think they'll be spotty and not a ton of coverage, so 20% for the coming week. Your full weekend forecast looks like this. Warm start to the day tomorrow, pretty warm afternoon too, even warmer on your Sunday, 72 with a high of 92. Saturday is the last month of May, and it has been a very hot month of May. We've had 18 degrees that are above, 18 days rather, that are above average, and just 4 normal average days and 7 below. And a lot of those below average days were when we had rain. Okay, because Sunday marks the start of hurricane season, I gotta check the tropics for you. Nothing expected in the Atlantic over the next 7 days. And we expect that this time of year because of the Saharan dust that comes off the west coast of Africa. So luckily that is doing its thing and suppressing tropical activity. That being said, NOAA has issued their outlook and they are expecting an above average season. 13 to 19 named storms, average is 14. 6 to 10 hurricanes, the average is 7. Of those hurricanes, 3 to 5 to become major ones, so category 3 or above, and the average is 3. One tropical update left for you, and this is in the Pacific. So I don't typically do this because, We live in the Gulf Coast. But if you are headed to Cabo, it's a popular destination this weekend. Well, there is some remnant rain that's going to head your way. Right now, there's Tropical Storm Alvin, the first one for the Pacific season. And their season started, by the way, May 15th. So their season does start earlier. And yeah, it's a pretty decent tropical storm. It is going to weaken into a remnant low, but it does track moisture into the southern portion of Baja. 7-day forecast locally looks like this. All right, we talked about today, we talked about this weekend. And let's talk about next week. So yes, Sunday marks the start of hurricane season, but it also marks the start of meteorological summer. So yes, temperatures are going to start warming up. Notice those overnight lows mid to upper 70s. Those afternoon highs start off in the low 90s. They get to the mid 90s by Thursday. Each and every day we will be tracking an isolated shower chance. That is pretty typical for Houston. So nice normal week, I think, expected for next week. All right, have a great rest of the day. And remember, try to stay put for the next 20 minutes or so until that weather impact alert expires. Bye-bye.